Welcome to VisitQuake Chalk Talk. This is part 2 of a 3-part series on what it takes to achieve peak business health. Today we're going to be talking about peak business health in the context of the 6 stages of business analytics, also known as the Business Analytics Maturity Model. All right, what we're going to do, why peak health? What is the Business Analytics Maturity Model? Where are you? And what is the value of stage 6? All right, why peak health? Why do we care? We absolutely live in a data economy. Data is the new currency. Converting raw data into crisp business insights that you can take action on and truly monetize, that's the world we live in now. Consumerization of BI is absolutely being demanded by users. Actionability of data is no longer a nice to have, it's an absolute must. All right, now let's talk about what is the Business Analytics Maturity Model. It's 5 to 6 stages, depending on whether you're Gartner, the Data Warehousing Institute, IBM, or VisitQuake. Yeah, we bring a little bit of bias, but we're massively passionate about this topic. All right, let's go through it. Mechanically, here's what's going on. Stage 1 is Excel land, spread marts. Then we go to something like data marts, OLAP and BI tools, data warehouses. Then we kind of evolve to enterprise data warehouse, in-memory technologies. Ultimately, we get to big data lakes, smart marts, all kinds of stuff where it's less about the technology. All right, so Gartner talks about this in the context of, in stage 1, you're unaware. You evolve to tactical. You become focused, then strategic, then information's pervasive throughout the enterprise. The Data Warehousing Institute, they use a different metaphor, kind of saying the same thing, prenatal, infant, child, teenager, adult. Then you get to SAGE, I like that word. How does IBM talk about it? They kind of blend these 2 phases together. This is ad hoc. Then you get foundational, competitive, differentiating, and then you get to breakaway. I love SAGE and breakaway. This is how VisitQuake talks about it. We go a little bit deeper in our explanations. We can't help ourselves. In first gear, there's very low ROI. There's very little insight. Again, you live in spread mart land. There's kind of data anarchy happening. In second gear, all right, there's power users. There's IT. It's kind of a get in line. You have a few data ninjas here and there. It's cumbersome and it's not really, ROI is very low. In third gear, you are starting to get that into that empowerment phase. You have tactical reporting, some business intelligence. You're getting into dashboards, things like that. In fourth gear, you're getting to some maturity here. You can measure and manage the business. It's becoming strategic. You have daily insights beginning and at everybody's fingertips. And you're starting to do data mining, some statistics. You might have a data scientist on staff. In fifth gear, you're starting to really become a data-driven organization. You are driving the enterprise. You've got analytics, operational BI, actionability happening, bound to workflow. You're starting to really do predictive and statistics. In sixth gear, or overdrive, right, getting to our stage 6. What's the power of stage 6? You've got analytics. Action is pervasive, predictive, prescriptive. Anomalies and outliers absolutely find the user in real time in a seamless, intuitive, and native way, right? It's like on a silver platter, here's the things you should be doing today. Things are role personalized from the C-suite and everybody from CEO, CMO, Chief Operating Officer to the portfolio worker and all the line staff in between. Also, you absolutely are going to have a Chief Data Analytics Officer, a Chief BI, all of these things that are all about a strategic person in the C-suite whose job is to monetize raw information, all the information assets. What else? You are competing and winning in the marketplace. You have total information trust in the enterprise, and your people, they have an A+ in their analytics IQ. Insights are in motion. They're connected to action. So the value of stage 6 is that you have big ROI. Basically, what you have is you get beyond teenager adult phase, and you see that this is the value of how you're monetizing, and your cost is here. This is your investment years. Now, wherever you are, I kind of skipped order here a little bit. Where are you? Well, most people in Fortune 500, Fortune 1000, they self-identify in phases 1 through 3, right? So most people in survey data are here. We advocate wherever you are, find a way to leapfrog. Find a strategy within 2 years where you can leapfrog one full stage. Because you have to be in stage 6, in our view, by 2023 or in 5 years. That's what 5 years is a reasonable game plan where you are absolutely taking action on your data. You're a data-driven enterprise, and you're monetizing your raw big data. All right, so that's part 2 of a 3-part series on achieving peak business health. We look forward to seeing you in part 3. Cheers.